Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you're watching the Inner Child Collective, where you and your inner child heal for the better. Welcome and hello. Today, I'm actually giving you a message for your inner child, a very powerful message that we received from Spirit. If you resonate with the reading at all or the message at all, by all means, let me know in the comments. You can also like the video, share it on your own social media pages. You can also subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss another video. And if you would like to have a more in-depth reading, you can go to my descriptions where you can book a book one with me in particular from this particular platform. Or you can, if you are working with Nikila Asha of Astral Scout Life Sculpting, I'm a resident psychic and intuitive medium. So if you met me through her, you can book a reading through her channels as well. All that information is in the description. So let's get in to let's get in with this reading. So basically what I am getting from Spirit is that not everything is about us. Not everything is about you or your trauma or what you've been through. A lot of us have the tendency to hang on to these stories about how we, have suffered, how we have gone through this, that, and the third. And what is happening is that we are using that story as an excuse to go in on people, to treat people any kind of way, or to distrust people in every way, shape, or form. I'm not, and the reason why I'm saying is that I'm not saying that what we haven't experienced doesn't have an impact. Of course it does. Every bit of trauma that we have gone through, especially if it's interpersonal and consistent and perpetual, is going to cause an impact. It's going to change your mind. It's going to change the molecular structure of your mind. And so what's going to end up happening is that everything that you have gone through, because your brain is wired to think that way, that your trauma is everybody's trying to get you. Everyone is going to, try to abandon you or hit you or abuse you in some way, shape, or form. And as it is and what I'm getting from Spirit is that that's not the case all the time. Not everyone is after us, and the world does not revolve around us and our traumas. And we are to be aware of that, because our inner child wants to be the one to tell the story. Our inner child has a story to tell. Our inner child is not being seen and heard. Our inner child has the tendency to hold on to stories, and be stuck in time. Our inner child is very much stuck with us, not in a bad way, but basically stuck within our unconscious mind. And because we're not hearing them, and because we're not seeing them, like really witnessing them, through our own, inner child energy work, they are letting themselves be known in some way, shape, or form. Let me turn this on so you can see me better. There you go. So they're doing everything they can through us, through our adult bodies, to be known. And because we have not gone through the healing process, what ends up happening is that we end up reenacting our abuse. We end up reenacting the trauma that we've gone through, whether it be any sort of abuse, or assuming that, or some sort of abandonment issue, thinking that someone is trying to leave us, someone is trying to play us, right? And when we do that, we revolve. We center ourselves significantly in someone else's life, and so we are to. The message that I'm getting is that we are to realize how we show up in the world. We are to realize how your inner child shows up in the world through you, because what ends up happening is that when we don't recognize the impact that we have on someone else's life because of our own unhealed stuff, we end up being somebody else's trauma story. We end up being a problem for the collective. And when you heal, so does the collective, because you are showing up as someone who is doing the work. And so we are being told by Spirit, we are being told by our Spirit team to recognize that not everything is about our trauma, and not everything is about us. Not everything is about pain and suffering. Not everything is going to revolve around your pain and suffering. The world does not operate that way. And so in order for you to navigate through through the system without feeling as if you are going to be traumatized on a regular basis, you are to do your own healing work. You are to do your own emotional You are to do your own emotional work. You are to do your own emotional labor. You are to do your own psychological labor, which means you are to do your own decolonization in order. You have to do your decolonize your mind. You have to do your own form of decolonization, right? And that is looking into your subconscious mind and paying attention to your inner child and what they have to say, because if you are not hearing them, they're going to end up coming out, in some way, shape, or form through your behavior, your words, and your emotions. Your emotions become their emotions, become your emotions. Your thoughts become theirs, and vice versa. Your actions will reflect all that they've been through. And so you're being told, whoever is listening to this message and watching this video, to not be so quick to revolve the world around you, or feel as if the world should, or to not even should, but the world is to revolve around you in some way, shape, or form. You are not living in a bubble. You're not living by yourself. You are to navigate this world, and this world involves other people. This is the time this is a time to do the healing work necessary. So when you show up for the collective, you're showing up in a way that's authentic to you. You're showing up in a way that demonstrates that you are listening to your inner child. You are listening, and you are having boundaries with the inner child. It's okay for them to be angry. It's okay for them to come out every once in a while, but there are to be boundaries, because you are the parent. When you are working with your inner child, you're reparenting them. You're not ignoring them. They're just like any other child that you may work with. They are to have boundaries, and those boundaries include telling them that it's okay for them to be angry. It's okay for them to feel everything that they're feeling, but it's not okay for them to throw a complete tantrum to the point where they're being disruptive, or being disrespectful towards you or anyone else. This is the time to let go of the stories of abuse or trauma, to work towards overcoming those stories, so you can rewrite a whole new story that doesn't involve you and your inner child centering yourselves in someone else's world to the point where you're being disruptive. Even if you don't mean to do that, no one wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to mess somebody else's life up, right? Nobody fucking comes up in here and says that. Nobody wakes up in the morning and say, like, I'm going to be disruptive today. Let's be real, right? But this is the opportunity for you to really understand your interactions with other people, and your interactions with the world, and your interactions with the environments, and your interactions with your inner child, and vice versa. Is it so like disruptive, and it's so like laissez-faire that all of a sudden you are just allowing your inner child to just run amok? Do you find yourself becoming so angry to the point where you are throwing tantrums, even though chronologically you are an adult? People are looking at you like, what is going on? Is it to the point where your friendships are suffering, your relationships are suffering because of your behavior? These are questions you are to ask yourself when you're doing the inner child energy work, and tell your inner child that it's okay for them to, like as I said before, it's okay for them to be. It's okay for them to be themselves. It's okay for them to feel all of their emotions. It's okay for them to speak to you about their emotions, but it's not okay for them to be disruptive. It's not okay for them to be disrespectful. It is not okay for them to be so centered that no one else's words or no one else's pain and suffering is being felt or recognized. I'm gonna keep saying, like, every once in a while, keep your inner child in check. keep your inner child in check so they're not feeling as if the world is to revolve around them. So that's all I have for this message here. If you resonate with that message in any way, shape, or form, by all means, let me know in the comments. You can also click that like button, so at least I know, that, this is someone is hearing this, right? Because the more people know about their inner child, the better. Also, if you want to miss or don't want to miss another video, please subscribe to the channel because I'm always posting content on here. And tonight, later on tonight, I am going to be reading a bedtime story to the collective as well. So be sure to tune in on that. For that, rather on that. For that, please be ready for that. Is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm there every Wednesday reading a bedtime story live. Okay, and also if you follow me on social media, be sure to check that out too. I'm on Instagram, or would like to, follow me on social media. By all means, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to follow me so you'll always see more content on there as well. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. I really appreciate it. Until next time, peace.